Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, threatens to put the Democratic mayor of Denver in jail. This comes after the mayor, who's my next guest, talked about resisting federal forces trying to carry out mass deportations, saying, quote, more than us having the Denver Police Department stationed at the county line to keep them out, you would have 50,000 Denverites there. It's like the Tiananmen Square moment with the rose and the gun. Homan firing back on Fox News.
Me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. We're going to enforce the law, period. And they're not going to stop us.
All right, joining me now, the Denver mayor, Mike Johnston. So, Mayor Johnston, you heard what he said. You got something in common. You're willing to go to jail. He's willing to put you there. He says he's going to enforce the law. Are you willing to go to jail over this?
You know, I think there are thoughtful ways to solve this problem. If they want to focus on violent criminals, we would be happy to help support pursuing, arresting, and deporting them. We've helped past administrations. We'd do that again. If they want to focus on adding more judicial capacity so folks with asylum claims can have those cases heard more quickly, we would support that. What we're not going to do is support deploying the 101st Airborne into American cities to pull 10-year-old kids out of their classrooms in handcuffs. I think that is immoral, that's unconstitutional, and that's un-American. And so I think if that's what they're proposing, they will find us resisting. If they want to partner on common sense solutions, we'll always be happy to partner.
So if Trump were to order ICE agents, for example, right, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, to go into the state of Colorado to enforce federal law, would you order, Mayor Johnston, your police department to resist them? Or are you speaking at this point more of just an act of, protest resistance? Or would this actually be an order to your police department?
Yeah, we won't use our law enforcement, and we don't think we need to. That's not what we're after. I think America's not after another conflict on this issue. They're after a way to find pragmatic solutions to this problem. And so, to quote Lincoln, we don't think here that might makes right. We think that right makes might. And so if they are going to send the U.S. Army or the Navy SEALs into Denver to pursue folks to pull them off the job at hotels or restaurants where they're working or pull kids off the soccer field, I think we will see Denverites and folks around the country who will nonviolently resist that, because I think that doesn't represent our values and doesn't represent the Constitution.
So has your view on the broader situation changed, though? And I understand you're trying to draw a distinction between violent criminals and people who are in the country illegally, but are contributing to society, right? Going to school, working jobs. But Is Denver, Mayor, going to remain a sanctuary city where you do not enforce federal immigration laws? Is there going to be any change to how you are running the city?
We're not changing how we run the city, but it's important that people know what that status means. What that means is that if someone has committed a violent crime, has committed a felony, we do collaborate with federal law enforcement, and we will. What it means we don't do is if someone is driving to work and has a busted taillight on the way, we don't arrest them and connect them to ICE for deportation. We think that's disruptive for families and for residents. I was a high school principal before this, and these are my students. These are kids who are dreamers, who are playing by the rules, getting jobs, trying to make a life. They have daughters who play on our soccer teams or sons who sit in your history classes. We don't think that is the problem facing the country. These are 60% of them are working, 25% of them are children. I don't think that is the crisis the country's worried about.
To be clear, there is going to be a mass deportation because we just finished a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border. It's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien to immigration authorities. Don't test us.
President-elect Donald Trump's new border czar, Tom Homan, laying out his day one plans for the new administration. Homan traveled to Texas on Tuesday, meeting with Governor Greg Abbott and delivering a message to Texas National Guard members. Texas government leaders are moving to get more aggressive on immigration. In recent days, they have ordered more barrier buoys onto the Rio Grande River, like the ones seen last year. The Biden administration had sued to get those barriers removed. Not every local leader is signing up for the promises of cracking down on migrants. Denver's mayor says his city would resist extreme measures, drawing the ire of Tom Homan this week.
If they want to focus on violent criminals, we would be happy to help support pursuing, arresting, and deporting them. So if they are going to send the U.S. Army or the Navy SEALs into Denver to pursue folks to pull them off the job at hotels or restaurants where they're working or pull kids off the soccer field, I think we will see Denverites and folks around the country who will nonviolently resist that.
Me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
Mike Dubke, look, It's very clear the country is very unhappy with the way immigration has been playing out. They're concerned about the security at the border. Where do you think the Trump administration and how can they stay with Americans on that without, I mean, some of the measures they're talking about, I mean, that language of like, if you harbor somebody, we will find you. You know, if the Denver mayor wants to go to jail, I mean, that has some significant and more extreme echoes than some of what we heard from the Trump campaign on the trail.
There are several stages to kind of a